Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about Hailee Steinfeld and Josh Allen, one of the biggest power couples out there right now. Have you been following their story? Because things have been moving fast, and their whirlwind romance just took a massive turn. So let's get right into it and break down how it all went down.
So it all started with this one little word. On December 12th, the couple dropped a total bombshell. They're expecting their first child, and the way they revealed it was so perfectly them, you know? Super understated. It was just a video of Hailee wearing a fleece with this one word on it: mother.
And of course, the internet just went wild. I mean, this was a huge moment for a couple that has been famously private, trying to keep their relationship completely out of the spotlight. So it really makes you wonder, right? How did they get from being so intensely private to starting a family for the whole world to see?
To really get it, we've got to rewind a bit and go back to the very beginning. Their story has been a true whirlwind, for real. And it all kicked off with them wanting to keep things completely on the down low. So let's dive into Chapter 1, their whirlwind romance. Okay, wow. When you lay it all out like this on a timeline, it really puts their journey into perspective. Think about it. From the first time they were spotted together in May 2023 to announcing a baby in December 2025, that's dating, an engagement, a wedding, and starting a family in just 2.5 years. That is moving at lightning speed for any couple, let alone one with cameras following their every move.
And you can tell they were not ready for just how much attention they were going to get. You know, back in August 2023, just a few months in, Josh went on a podcast and he seemed genuinely baffled by it all. He just said, "The fact that anybody cares about that still blows my mind." It just shows you what a shock to the system it was.
And yeah, that early attention was really tough on them. Josh even called it a gross feeling. Imagine just trying to get to know someone new and there are photographers everywhere. He said it created this feeling of insecurity for them, which is totally understandable.
Okay, so they start out wanting to stay totally private. But what happens when your relationship gets serious and you both have these huge careers? Well, you have to figure it out. This is the turning point, really. This is where they go from just dating to becoming this unstoppable power couple.
And this chart really breaks down how they make it work. It's fascinating. You've got an Oscar-nominated actress and pop star on one side and a top-tier NFL quarterback on the other. Their worlds are like polar opposites, but they actively make it work. She literally plans her schedule around his insane NFL season, and he's always shouting her out as his biggest supporter, his rock, his best friend. It's a true partnership.
And this is when you really start to see that shift happen in public. That red carpet debut at the NFL Honors, that was a big deal. But oh my gosh, when he won MVP, that was everything. He got up on that stage, and in his speech, he looked at Hailee and said, "You've been my rock. I would not be standing on this stage if it weren't for you." I mean, talk about a public declaration of love. And you can tell the feeling is totally mutual. This quote from Hailee says it all, really. She said that being with Josh has brought her this amazing sense of inner peace, that life just makes sense with him. So, you know it's not just for the cameras, this is the real deal. So, with a connection that strong, you know what comes next, right? The big milestones. They went from hiding their relationship to being ready to make it official forever. And it all kicked off with a proposal straight out of a movie.
And the proposal, seriously, Josh nailed it. He picked her happy place, a cliff in Malibu, right at sunset. She said the moment was simply magical, which is the perfect word for it. And that really set the stage for their wedding, which was every bit as special and personal.
Okay, let's talk about the wedding, because it wasn't just a wedding. It was a whole weekend experience. It started small with just family, then grew into this huge party. But the one detail that I think says everything about them, they had a strict no phones rule during the ceremony. They just wanted everyone to be there, in the moment with them. I love that.
It really shows they were trying to create a feeling, a whole atmosphere. Hailee wrote this beautiful line in her newsletter about it, and it just sounds so incredible. From a 5-tiered cake to a late-night after-party with grilled cheese sandwiches that went until 3 a.m., every single detail was about connection and celebration. All right, so all of that brings us right back to where we started, the baby news. And in true Hailee and Josh fashion, they announced this huge new chapter completely on their own terms.
So how'd they do that? Well, Hailee has this personal newsletter called Beau Society. It's basically her direct line to her fans. It's the same place she shared all the exclusive wedding details, and it's exactly how she decided to announce the pregnancy. No big magazine cover, just a direct message to her community.
This has totally become their signature move, right?
sharing their biggest, most personal news in a way they can completely control. And honestly, if you were really paying close attention, this announcement might not have been a complete shock.
Looking back, the signs were definitely there. Just a month before the big announcement, an interviewer asked her if she wanted kids, and her answer was an immediate, "Of course," no hesitation. And this quote from that same interview just shows you exactly where her head and her heart were at. It's clear that for them, this was the perfect next step.
But, with a couple this famous, the story they tell is only one side of it. There's a whole other conversation that happens online, in fan groups, and on social media, and it can get, complicated. To really get the full picture, we got to touch on that too.
And just a heads up, I want to be super clear here. What we're about to talk about comes from online discussions and social media chatter. We're not here to say if it's true or not, but just to show you what's part of the broader public conversation happening around them.
So for instance, there's a photo from 2019 of Hailee with Israeli soldiers that gets debated a lot online. People also bring up things like Josh Allen's voter registration and some old controversial social media accounts he allegedly followed years ago. There are also some really old, offensive tweets from before his NFL career that get brought up. All this stuff leads to a lot of online speculation about their political views and shared values.
So, like I said, that's a piece of the online discussion. But let's bring it back to what we know for sure as we start to wrap this up. Their journey so far has been nothing short of remarkable, and you better believe millions of people are watching to see what happens next.
I mean, think about it. They went from literally hiding from the cameras to being this huge public couple, all while building a life together. They've gotten married, he's an MVP, she's a movie star, and now they're taking on their biggest adventure yet, becoming parents.
And that leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? They've somehow managed to balance these two insane careers in two totally different worlds. But adding a baby into that mix, that changes the whole game. How are they going to juggle an NFL schedule, blockbuster movie sets, and being new parents, all with the entire world watching? It's going to be fascinating to see. What do you think is next for them? How do you think they'll handle it all? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to read them. And hey, if you like this explainer, you know what to do. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching.